there's so many good experiences that we learn from, and they come from actually messing up. Like, we all screw up, we all have these failures in our life, and those are the things that teach you the lessons, right? Like, how do we get better at what we're doing? Where did I trip up, and how do I avoid that next time?
Hey Pat, thanks for joining today.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man, and it's great because I've been trying to get you on, and what a person, what a background, what a mindset, and just so much great things you've done, and we're very happy to have you here. And the goal today is I want people to know, who is Pat, right? What are you about? What makes you you, right? You've got an excellent, incredible coaching resume. You've got the great trades background, mentorship, and you're bringing these experiences and successes and challenges and bridging it from, whether that's helping from business world to personal to mentoring. And I think there's a ton of value and a ton of things that we could talk about. So let's dive in. So Pat,
Yeah.
I want people to hear the fast version about you, right? 2 championship runs, years in construction, mentorship. When you look back at, say, one skill that shows up in both worlds, what would you say it would be today?
Yeah, well, I think one of the most important things that I've found over the years of coaching and working in construction and just working with different groups of people is that how you communicate and how you connect with people is one of the most important aspects of a functioning and efficient working team, right? So, yeah, my background is in soccer. I played growing up. I became a coach. I've achieved some great victories over the years, state titles with the college I coach, and even in youth sports, won a lot of big tournaments. But I've also been in the work environment where I'm working with teams of people to get a job constructed, right? I worked in home renovations and kitchen makeovers. And so the ability to have clear and efficient business organization and communication to help people get on the same track so that their timelines line up and that they can function at their most efficient level all comes down to communicating effectively and efficiently. And so that trickles over from both the soccer field or really any athletic endeavor, and in the business world. I've experienced it in both fields, which is why I'm excited to come on the podcast today. Appreciate you having me, because I just have a passion for trying to help people grow and get better in whatever industry they're in. And I think so much of it comes down to communicating effectively.
Yeah. And that is really great. And one of the things I always appreciate with folks that have had your background, the successes, the challenges, the failures, and learning from it, right? You learn things, right? I would say, what's a moment on any of your previous job sites or anything you've done that taught you as much about leading people as anything you learned coaching?
Yeah, there's so many good experiences that we learn from, and they come from actually messing up. Like, we all screw up, we all have these failures in our life, and those are the things that teach you the lessons, right? Like, how do we get better at what we're doing? Where did I trip up, and how do I avoid that next time? And one of the things that really resonates with me right off the bat is when I was working in construction back in the late, I guess it was like 2006 to 2010. I'd get put in these scenarios where I would have jobs that I'd never done a job before, right? But I had all the skills and the tools to understand how to piece this project together, right? So the one I'm thinking about is this kitchen remodel, where I just walk into this room that was completely stripped and empty and just a pile of cabinets and a blueprint. And there were details in this construction project that I had never done before, but I knew the right people to call and connect to. But I made mistakes along the way. And that's kind of one of the sneaky things about finished carpentry is it's not whether or not you're going to have a mistake or whether you're going to screw something up or something's wrong on the blueprint. It's just having the ability to problem solve, right? And I think that applies to just about any industry. If you have the tools to problem solve, the right people to connect to, and you're humble enough to just kind of put your ego aside and ask for help and, screw up on something and then do the research and get the experience and then fix that thing on the project. I think that's what's really driven me over the years and made me just feel confident in myself, was just understanding that I can figure out how to problem solve things. And you see it on the soccer field as well. And I imagine it comes up in the business world all the time, right? In different avenues for yourself.
100%. And there's a lot of crossover, right, to a lot of this. And speaking of crossover, right, a lot of people, if you think about this, will call themselves a soccer coach or a sports coach or contractor, business person, and stop there, right? Why do you think you were built to coach performance, not just skill? Yeah, no, yeah. No, and I love that too. A lot of people can't say that, right? And, a lot of people go through a lot of the things, and some people look for an identity. I would also say, for you, and I want people to hear this, what's the story you tell yourself about why people trust you under pressure? That's important, right? Because not people could say they handle it, but why do people trust you? What story do you tell yourself about why they should trust you? Yeah, no, and you know what? I feel like I want to add on to that because we've known each other for a while, and honestly, you're not, it's not you're underselling it, but the communication is number one, right? If you can't communicate on any level, you're not going to succeed. So you're really good at communication, and you see the dysfunction in communication between players, coaches, and you're able to identify not just as a group, individually, right? You're able to identify that. You're able to nurture it. You get people to open it. That's what makes you great. A lot of people can't do that. And I don't want to undersell that part. That leads into the pressure points, right? Like for me, the parallel of business, right? From startups I've done and going through acquisitions with NASDAQ companies, then leading global commerces, platforms, and different arena, but the same core skill of performing when the stakes are real, like what you continue to go through that you've proven, right? And for us, pressure doesn't care if you're on the field, it doesn't care like the site. Is it going through a Series B fundraising mechanics? Is it going through what other people think, are doing it like, oh, I'm swimming or I'm running? No, it's all the same, right? But for us, as we go through these future and upcoming episodes, we're going to dive in a lot more to the pillars and whatnot. And I do think, again, I want to go back to you. The credibility in business is important because what you are going through with what you've mentoring, with what you've gone through with this mindset, the championship mindset, the ability to coach, mentor, and there's proof, right? There's, again, credibility and the trust. You're a bridge, right? To go do that. Coach people up, go into the trades, and then the performance mindset, operating, right? You're an operator, right? And that's the language most of us will understand, right? Okay, he's proven this, he's successful, he's got credibility, people trust him, he's worked with individuals, groups, teams, and guess what? The audience is going to trust you. So, for me today, I'm excited for what we're going to be going through recording in the future. And, again, this is something that's going to be incredible. And I do encourage everyone listening to, subscribe. You get a chance to communicate with us. We will be going through with what Pat provides along with the team and being able to do these one-on-one discussions, coaching sessions and whatnot. But yeah, Pat, I just want to thank you again, for taking the time out of the busy schedule. I look forward to these sessions as we're going through this in the next few weeks, months, and getting people to understand, what it is and what it takes to succeed under pressure and everything else. So thank you, Pat. I appreciate you. Excellent. Hey, have a good one. And until the next one, cheers.